Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Codex podcast. I'm your host, Maurice Cirillo. We're on to episode 54. Today's Tuesday, October 11th. And it's a good day. Fall is officially upon us, and we're no longer sweating profusely in the office. There's how you doing?
I'm feeling fresh, man.
Good day. Oh, man, we got the Facebook Live going on.
I heard that, Carl.
Carl, was everyone a beer? His phone went off.
Sure does.
Carl, how you feeling? You happy the fall is officially here?
No,
Ooh, be quiet, Carl.
I prefer the
Breaking news. Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. Log in now for your free Halloween Terror loot box. I got a free loot box, y'all. That's way more important than whatever you had to say, Carl.
So Carl loves fall. Parrish loves fall.
Mm-hmm. But only because of the free loot boxes.
That's true. It is a Halloween event after all. Remember, hate fall?
I'm just not. I prefer the warm ones. That's all.
It's because of all that Cowboys losing. That happens in the fall.
But we've been winning.
It's fall.
It takes at least 5 balls of victory for you to like it again.
2 years ago, we pretty much had the same winning streak. We did have the same winning streak.
How did that end up, Carl?
It was a catch.
I don't remember any of that. Vic, how are we doing?
I'm doing just fine, man. Glad to be back.
Nice. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks off here, so we're happy to be back. Sorry for our little interlude last week, but we're back and we are in charge. Going to talk a little bit Luke Cage today. The second half of our show. We get to that, the big Netflix show that dropped a few weeks ago. We all binged it.
Yeah, a friend of mine was pissed that we wasn't on last week.
Well, you know what? It was a little soon. Luke Cage dropped on Friday.
Hey, Carl's friend. Blame Carl.
No, wasn't my fault.
That's how I usually do when things go wrong. I stub my toe. God damn it, Cupboard! Oh, man. But, we were thinking about it, and we needed more time to digest. That was only 3 days, and also spoilers. There's going to be lots of spoilers at the end. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Spoiler tag it, whatever.
Yeah. Past few weeks, I actually just recently got back into Uncharted. So I'm going back into... I went back to Nathan Drake's first adventure.
Wait, is that what you've been up to?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm starting.
That's cool.
I made an executive decision to start around. That is what I've been up to. I'm having a really hard time, Dick. I don't know if you've read the second Aftermath for Star Wars. I keep trying to, but I'm just not really invested with the characters.
I haven't even started it yet.
The third one comes out in February, so we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
But I'm just not feeling them, which is unfortunate. I'm just really want the next Dresden to come out, which has been like 2 years now. It's been the longest delay between Dresden books.
Has it really been 2 years already?
I believe so. Not since we finished it, the last one, but I think since he wrote the last one. He did write the Windless series, which I might start that one.
Yeah, I have that. I haven't been able to bring myself to read it.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Because last night I was in bed looking at the internet. Nothing nefarious, don't you worry, Coburn. And I was like, I'm so
bad.
I was like, I'm so bored right now. What am I doing? I'm doing so many things right now. So I picked up Uncharted and started playing through that again. I picked back up pretty quickly. So you jump into a game after a month, you're like, what the hell have I been doing? But it wasn't so bad. I hopped right back in.
That game's got the mechanics of every third-person shooter ever, so...
Kind of like Call of Duty, right?
Something
like that. So I'm going to get back on that. I did upload it to our YouTube, so I will be streaming that again. No video this time because I was in my robe and slippers. No one wants to see that. Maybe people might want to see it, but I want to share it. So if you want to watch me stream through that and curse a lot, especially during the jet ski part, please stop in. Some more of the Star Wars. And Jess and I have officially scheduled our watch of all the Star Wars. She's the first one. She had never seen it before. So we're going through them officially. Empire. This is a quick question. How would you show someone Star Wars who's never seen it before? I would do it based off of release, but some people do it based off of 1 through 7. Some will do it 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. No, 3, 4, 2, 3, 7 or some bullshit like that. How do you do it?
I do it just straight chronologically.
1 through 7.
Yes. Straight. Not chronologically story-wise.
Oh, okay.
But chronologically
Release.
On release, right?
That's
So A New Hope first,
Yes.
then Empire, then Return,
Yep.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is how George Lucas intended for me to watch them.
That's what I say. Yeah.
I would show the despecialized editions of the original
Oh.
trilogy.
Vic, that goes without saying, Vic.
Yeah.
Without saying.
Dude,
Of
when we were
course,
watching
of course.
New Hope, and it was a special edition, I was like cringing at some parts. Like, oh my god, this looks so bad.
Yeah.
It like looks good despecialized. It looks terrible and specialized. So,
Absolutely.
she's been bugging me. I'm the one that's been slacking on that. So we'll definitely get back on that train.
How does the specialized look in 4K?
I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows. Carl doesn't exist.
I'm saying, like, you watched the specialized version.
No, I haven't. I watched. I just watched the specialized edition on the Blu-ray. I watched the Blu-ray specialized edition on my Blu-ray Xbox.
I feel like
4K.
Carl is well on his way to killing that 4K. Single-handedly.
I got one more joke, but that's the later one.
Just slaying it.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your spots, Carl.
I got one more coming up. And then...
Yeah. Just show the D-Spec editions and Force Awakens. That's all. Fuck the prequels.
I mean,
We will be watching the prequels.
I could have told you that was going to be Victor's reply.
No, we will be watching the prequels, and the 4. Yeah, so it's gonna be 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by someone who's never seen it. So, and then she wants to see all the Marvel movies, or we're gonna go through all the superhero stuff,
Nice.
and then we're saving Lord of the Rings for last because she doesn't want to see that, even though I love Lord of the Rings so much.
She's never seen the Lord of the
So-
Rings.
See Lord of the Rings?
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm
Wow.
jealous.
So when you guys gonna get back into Game of Thrones?
Probably never.
That's a good question. She should just watch it on her own.
She should.
Yeah. Hey, Jess, just watch it on your own.
She's currently doing homework. She can't see you.
My
Where are you?
recommendation. Well, she's going to download it and listen
Yes,
tomorrow.
that's true.
So
That is true.
my recommendation is do not wait for this traitor over here, this deserter.
Do you want to hear the latest news, by the way, about this shit?
Absolutely. Always.
Oh my god! He's
Wait,
released
there's Breaking George Fat
Fat
Martin.
Yeah. So we talked about this at work. He's releasing enhanced editions of books 1 through 5.
That's so horrible. Okay.
If I wasn't holding this coffee, if this coffee was not on my table, I would be smashing the table. Enhanced editions,
Wow.
like special editions of the books that are released. Are my lights going up here?
So, like, extra
Yeah,
chapters?
these levels are
Like-
like
I don't know.
George really brings out the worst.
I
in
don't
It
everyone.
really does, man.
I don't know what I saw the Facebook posts because I followed Ice and Fire on Facebook, and I don't even know. I was like, experience it like you've never experienced it before.
Yeah, I don't know how you specialize a book. I don't know. You
Yeah,
can't add special
enhanced.
effects to a friggin' book.
It's enhanced.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like pop-up chapters?
No, I didn't even want to read the shit.
Pictures, no.
And I commented on the thing. I got like 60 likes. It's the same thing I always say. Take all the time you need. Just don't have a show come out with your shit first, and then
Right.
but then release enhanced crap.
It's going to be super enhanced. In
Yeah.
between chapters, you're going to get pages of copies of George's increasing bank account as you purchase the book.
God, yeah. So that was just look into that if you get time.
Are
But
you gonna buy the?
no,
Okay.
God no, I'm never buying anything ever again. I'm never buying anything ever again from him. That's a lie. I'll buy 6 and 7, but nothing enhanced. Yeah.
Lean into it, Carl. But all that noise you heard was just me fixing Carl's mic.
So that's been my busy 2 weeks. Robert, how about you?
Not really that busy. I DJ'd a couple of parties and I checked out this new show on HBO called Insecure. I wasn't really like that into it, so I'm gonna check it out again with Issa Rae. So like I said, I'll check it out one more time and then get back to you on that. Finished Spawn, the animated series. Still love it. Hands down.
Did that end with a cliffhanger or anything, or did that end?
Yep. All he just ended it with saying, "I want my humanity back," and that was it.
Okay.
Nothing.
Maybe they'll bring it back in the future.
Maybe so. Probably depending on this movie, if it ever comes
So
out.
if you had to tell me about that show, you have to just describe it to me in 20 seconds or less. How would you do that, Carl?
Well, just saying, it's Spawn. It's God. Oh, I get so tired.
You have 10 seconds.
I'm just not
There's
gonna
still
be
time, Carl. Just recover, Carl.
Al Simmons comes back to the dead as Malbolgia's house Spawn, and he turns back on him. The end.
That's That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a quick 5-second summary. Well done, Carl. Good recovery.
So that, and then I caught a deal with the Marvel hip hop variant covers. I showed
Carl, into the mic, Carl.
I
You're driving me nuts. I can hear this I got headphones on. I can hear it every time.
I gotta look at my notes as well. Relax.
Oh, put them in front of you. Why are you sitting so awkwardly? Just get in the.
That's how I sit. I can't. I don't know. I just can't do that.
Carl, the point of getting you back on the table is so you don't have to do this and this and then this.
I can't keep still. I'm gonna move like probably 80 more times.
Do you have ADHD, Carl?
Possibly. I just
get
can't
someone
keep
to diagnose Carl. We're gonna do it live on the show. Tune in.
Nah, okay. But yeah, I've been collecting the Marvel hip hop variant covers, so I picked up a few. Nobody Comics had a deal for like 10 of them, so I caught like the Clips, Spiderweb series with the Clips album cover, Power Band's Hard album cover that's a tribute to LL Cool J's cover, and many more. So I mean, I'll keep you updated with how much I've been collecting, and that's pretty much just it.
So how did that come about? Some Marvel and some hip hop guys get together and say, hey, let's
just do covers. After they, rebooted the whole, universe and everything, they just say, hey, let's do these hip hop variant covers to tribute to famous hip hop albums, and
that's cool.
What you've been doing.
I like it.
Yeah, this is alright. Cool. I like those covers. They're pretty nice. That Clips cover's pretty legit.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Harris?
I have been watching a couple of TV shows. The first one is Westworld. It is the new HBO, I wouldn't call it original series. It's based on a Michael Crichton movie. You might know him as the author of Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
So that just premiered on HBO, and it's 2 episodes deep, and I highly recommend it. It is a real trippy sci-fi show. The premise is that there is a theme park that is Western themed. So, cowboys and bandits and all that good stuff, saloons, brothels and all that good stuff. But instead of being your regular old Disneyland, this theme park is populated by highly advanced robots. Human-like robots that you cannot tell apart or distinguish from your normal, everyday human person. And the theme park is basically for the extremely wealthy. So you pay a great deal of money to go to this Westworld and do whatever the fuck you want. You can literally rape, pillage, kill, murder, drink.
Because you kill robots.
Go with your boys.
You kill robots.
Yeah, you kill the fuck out of robots. Just fucking killing them, rape them for days.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's really super trippy. Like the first episode kind of goes into the life of one of the main robots called Dolores. She's one of the oldest what they call hosts is what they named they dubbed these robots. And it shows you kind of the loop that these robots go in on a daily basis, so it gives you that perspective. Your boy Cyclops is in it. James Marsden is in it. He's one of the other main characters. And Ed Harris, who plays a creepy motherfucker. Man in Black. Correct. And he is really good in this. He's really super evil and sadistic and nasty and fucking horrible. And I love it. He's great in this. And the premise of the show is basically that these robots, after a recent update by the creator of the whole park, the whole operation, the robots and everything, they're starting to get memories. They are getting access to their previous memories, which are supposed to be erased on a daily basis, and they're basically like remembering all the horrible shit that all these rich assholes are doing to them and becoming sentient very slowly. And it's going over sort of the what the repercussions of that shift is, where they're becoming more and more human instead of just automatons. And through the first 2 episodes, it's super duper intriguing, super creepy, super weird, super fucked up. It's a very adult show, so watch it after hours. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to where that's going moving forward here. J.J. Abrams is producing it, and Chris Nolan's brother. Nolan.
Oh, Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah, there you go, Jonathan Nolan. Did he co-write the Dark Knight with Chris Nolan? Right? He did. Yeah. Okay. And so far it's a very high quality show. So I highly recommend that. Go ahead and check that out, everyone. It's on HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO. You know, all that good stuff.
I have seen the original Westworld.
Oh, really? I've never seen that thing.
Yeah, pretty good. It's like I can't remember if they filmed it in the 70s or 80s.
I think it was the 70s.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it
and
was.
I don't know if I say what happened in the movie is a spoiler for the show. But essentially,
I mean, that movie's been out for decades,
it's
so
okay.
it's okay for you to
Yeah.
spoil the movie.
Yeah,
It's fine.
so there's like 3 parks. There's Westworld. There's like a Rome world where you can live in like the old school ancient Rome, and there's another one. I think it's water. But the entire premise of the movie is people go there. The main characters have been like saving money up his whole life to go, and then what happens is all the robots go sentient and just start murking people left and right, like just straight up for like 2 hours.
Oh.
And I was like halfway through the movie, where I'm like, this is just Jurassic Park, which is exactly what the movie was, which is fine because it's like a Crichton. I was like, oh yeah, he just made Jurassic Park. But it looks like the show is gonna go obviously way more in depth than that stuff.
They're certainly taking a more slow burn approach to this and what's going on, and they're humanizing the robots. Obviously, you can't really do that in a 2-hour runtime of a movie too much. So they're doing a lot of that, with all of the robots. Like James Marsden is becoming like this real tragic character through the first 2 episodes.
Is he a robot?
Yeah, he's a robot.
Oh, okay.
And he just gets fucking killed like over and over all the fucking time. So I'm like, yeah, fucking take that, Cyclops! You son of a bitch!
Yeah, the Man in Black is the bad guy in the movie. And the guy who plays him is like a creepy ass dude who does a really good job. I know the guy that does it in HBO is the guy from The Rock.
Ed Harris,
yeah.
He's really good.
The Man in Black, and it's essentially just the guy running away from all the robots.
Yeah, I think it was like James Brolin in the original one?
Yeah.
Like Josh Brolin's dad?
Yes. Yep.
So, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's
enjoyable.
right.
It was enjoyable.
That's cool. I'll definitely check that out. But the show on HBO, super, super cool right now. If you like sci-fi and to a lesser extent westerns, it's not really a western, to be honest with you. There's a lot more sci-fi elements to it than the western aspect. Besides just the world and the aesthetic, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you just like really trippy sci-fi with, it reminds me of Memento a little bit through the first 2 episodes actually. Chris Nolan's Memento. So if you like that type of film with all these like time loops and going back and forth through time and seeing kind of characters do the same thing over and over, start to realize all the things that are wrong in their world, that type of thing, it's very cerebral and I think you'll really enjoy this. I recommend it to Randy today.
Yeah.
I think he'd really enjoy that.
As soon as
waiting for his response to that.
As soon as seeing the movie, I was thinking, like, they can do a lot more with that. And then all of a sudden, like a month later, they're developing a Westworld show. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. But yeah, the movie I enjoyed it, but they could have done way more. Obviously, now they are, which is awesome. And obviously, technology is that's cool.
I had no expectations. I'm not a fan. I've never seen the original movie or anything, so just coming into it cold. I think that all of you guys would really enjoy that. I'd be interested to see what Victor thinks of it when he gets around to watching it. I think he'd really enjoy that. So check it out, guys. Let me know what you think. Everybody on Facebook, on the podcast, email in coachcrownpodcast@gmail.com or let us know in the comments when you leave that 5-star review on iTunes.
Looking forward to it.
The other thing that I want to briefly mention is a new anime series that just debuted last week called Drifters. And it is by the folks who created Hellsing, which is a pretty famous anime from a few years back. And it's if you've seen Hellsing and you enjoyed Hellsing, you're really gonna enjoy this as well. Only 1 episode is out right now. You can stream it on Crunchyroll, and it basically stars a samurai back in 1600s Japan. Who is in his dying moments gets transported to this weird like limbo type space with a dude at a desk, and then he gets tossed through a door, and he then wakes up like in just a random place in like a battlefield or something. Gets picked up by elves in another world and deposited in another like a stone castle that has 2 other people who just happen to be from ancient Japan from different eras of him. as him actually. So one is like Nobunaga Oda, who was a leader of one of the clans that the main character's clan had been at war with like 30 years earlier, and he was supposedly dead. But the same thing happened to him and this other female character, and they're now what's called drifters. So it looks like there's heroes or warriors throughout time that get taken upon their moment of death, and they get transported basically to other worlds to do war. And the action is super slick. If you've watched Hellsing, you'll see that the animation is super high quality. The action is super slick. It's super duper gory and bloody. But they also have this silly sense of humor that they splash in throughout time, so the show doesn't take itself too seriously or anything like that. Through one episode, I'm really enjoying it, but I'm a huge fan of Hellsing from the very first one to the OVAs, the remakes that they did. That was a lot more faithful to the manga. So for anybody that liked Hellsing, check out Drifters on Crunchyroll. It's really good.
I like it. Anything else?
No, good.
That's what I like to hear. Nick, how about yourself?
Well, I watched 2 new movies over the weekend. Well, one that I enthusiastically recommended. One, well, we'll get into that in a bit. The first movie that I saw was Queen of Catway, which is Disney's latest live-action film, starring Lupita Nyong'o, David Oyelowo, and Medina Nalawanga. And it's actually a terrific movie. It's like a feel-good tale, true life tale about this young girl, Fiona Mutesi, who grows up in the slums of Katwe, Uganda, and she's like she becomes a chess prodigy. Like she just starts, she just has a real knack for the game. And David Oyelowo plays her coach, Robert Katende, who helps nurture her talent. And throughout the movie, you kind of see her, grow up in the slums of Uganda, just with her mom, played by Lupita Nyong'o, who's a single mom raising her and 2 of her other siblings, 3 of her other siblings actually on her own. And throughout the film, you kind of see her struggle and kind of see her, trying to, come up, out of her very humble beginnings through this game. And throughout the movie, you kind of see her and her group of fellow kids in the slums competing against kids in the city, and also later on competing with other international teams. And you get to see them kind of develop their talents and their skills, and just become better people and better players of the game. And the movie was fantastic. I heard nothing but great reviews going into it, and then when I watched it, I was like, wow, I really like this a lot. And what I also loved about it too was the performances were fantastic across the board. Lupita Nyong'o is really good in it, and the main actress, Medina Nalawanga, who plays Fiona, this was her debut performance, and she comes off very natural in the film. And it was almost like they got the actual girl to play her instead. And the cinematography was gorgeous too. Seeing Africa, seeing Uganda portrayed on screen, like so beautifully. It reminded me so much of Nigeria. Like if I didn't know that this film was shot in Uganda ahead of time, I would have been like, "Is this in Nigeria?" Because it looked almost exactly like a lot of places I've been to. It was just so beautiful. And it was
You've been down there?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, been to Nigeria, not Uganda.
Yeah.
But it was just beautiful, and it was great to see a film, an American production of a film that's shot in Africa that's not about abject poverty and warlords. Mm-hmm. So I mean that was a nice change of pace. So Queen of Catway, it's a feel good story. I came away with a smile, and it's got a lot of great things going for it. It's a movie that it plays it smart. It's not corny, it's not maudlin, and it's not afraid of going into some dark territory. Dark for a Disney film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I highly recommend it if you're into a really good true life tale like
I'm
chess.
sure behind the scenes that chess game is fucking nuts. But I've seen that Tiara show. I can only imagine like the chess moms are even worse.
Chess moms on the History Channel. But yeah, terrific film, and I would love to see it again. I can imagine seeing it in 4K.
You should really see those chess pieces move.
Oh yeah. And it's got me into playing chess a little bit more again on my smartphone.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a fun game. I played that a lot when I was younger, but I've fallen out of it. But it'll make you think.
Oh yeah. And the second film that I saw was a very notable one and controversial for several reasons. It's Nate Parker's directorial debut, The Birth of a Nation. And this is a film which Nate Parker directs, writes, stars, and produces. And this was like his passion project.
He didn't
Give us a little background on who Nate Parker is, Vic.
Nate Parker, he's an actor who's been in other films like Beyond the Lights and a couple other films.
Red Tails.
Red Tails, yeah. And this was a film that he was he tried to get off the ground for like the past 8 years, just been working on, like struggling for funding and filming it. And the film's also controversial. Like outside of it, like he was acquitted of some rape charges back in 1999. This film, taking the film as a whole, it's a film that I recommend. It's a film that I did enjoy, but it does have some problems that hold it back. Like the whole film, it's about Nat Turner, who's the slave who was famous for his revolt, which he killed scores and scores of slave owners, as well as their wives and children. And the whole film, one of the big issues that I had with it was that, well, the actual revolt takes place 20 minutes, in the last 20 minutes of the film. The whole film's 2 hours long. So what you have in the meantime beforehand was like this like whole slow burn biopic of who Nat Turner was. Him living and growing up on the plantation, him suffering wave after wave of violence and indignity. You see his wife get brutalized to the point where her face is beaten beyond recognition, and she's raped. And you see and there's one scene where a slave is force fed, his teeth is knocked out with a hammer. You see a lot of violent shit, but then the whole film it portrays Turner as like this good guy who's just had it up to here. And then the last 20 minutes felt very rushed, like rushing through the actual revolt. And the epilogue of the film said that the revolt actually lasted for 48 hours, but you don't get that sense at all in the film. The film looked like it lasted for like maybe like 2 hours and change. And I think that the film kind of missed an opportunity of portraying Nat Turner as a morally complex figure, because on the one hand, you understand that in those times, in the early 1800s, like as a slave, as a black man who's suffering one injustice after another, that he's pissed and he wants to lash out, and you actually do want to see him chop off the heads of multiple slave masters. I mean, that puts a smile on my face. But at the same time, the fact that he is murdering women and he is murdering children, which he did in real life, it should leave you conflicted as a viewer. That I do feel for him, and I understand that the times made him the very hateful thing that he sought to destroy. But at the same time, I can't really embrace him too much. And I think that the film kind of missed that opportunity to portray him as a more complex figure. And also too, I felt like the women in the films, particularly his wife and his mother, they got short shrift, because there was like one part where you think that his wife would be a more central character, but then after she gets beaten and raped off screen, like she kind of disappears for the rest of the film. And it's like, well, why even have her in there in the film? But besides that, I will say that like Nate Parker's performance was great, and I will say that also Armie Hammer was very good as his friend turned slave master. They grew up together, but then when his father dies, Armie Hammer's character takes over the plantation and starts becoming his father, starts hitting the bottle really hard and starts treating him like shit, well, even more. And the film also has some really good cinematography, some subdued visuals, and there's some artful touches. Like there's the scene where Nate Parker's holding like this ear of corn which like leaks blood all of a sudden, and there's some other like really artful shots throughout the film, like a black angel and whatnot. And I think that the best thing that the film has going for it is how it directly addresses how religion, particularly Christianity, was used as a tool to subjugate slaves, where you had slave owners pick and choose specific verses from the Bible to justify slavery.
That never happens.
Yeah, and then you had and then it's interesting to see Nat Turner use the same book, use the Bible as a means to justify rebelling and revolting against against his oppressors. So it's interesting how religion is used as a tool to oppress and exploit, and kind of uses a means of control, which I think a lot of slave narratives don't really want to acknowledge. But I'm glad that he acknowledged that the poisonousness of religion at times, how it could be used. And overall, I mean, I will say that it's a it's a good first effort. I will say that if you do want to see Birth of a Nation, temper your expectations accordingly. It has the air of this important Oscar-winning film, and yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I say 12 Years a Slave is a much stronger film, it's a superior film. But with this film, I mean, Nate Parker's a hell of a talent, and I want to see what other films he could write and direct in the future. So I would recommend it on those grounds. But like I said, keep your expectations at the door.
Yeah, that was definitely in the news a lot lately. With but they always people try to dig up stuff in people's past, and they always go through that stuff, and that's mostly what I heard. It's funny because like the conversation turns more about him than the actual movie itself. Yeah. So that's actually the first review I've heard. So thank you for that.
You did say on the episode he was warned that because you're making this movie, somebody will try to like take shots at you.
Yeah, they'll come after you.
And Stephen Ho said to check your Facebook messages. He sent you an interesting link.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one with Mulan, the live action Mulan being whitewashed, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
No comment.
yeah. Well, I'll touch on this real quick. Apparently, it was revealed that one of the original spec script for the live action Mulan film.
Oh, this is real life?
Yeah.
Not someone like just worried about it happening.
No.
Okay.
Like originally, the leaked script, the spec script was gonna feature Mulan, featuring a white character as like the main character / love interest of Mulan herself, and so they're not gonna go with that idea.
Now, what is the spec script? That's like it's just something someone wrote.
Something like a rough draft.
Like a rough draft.
Like a super rough draft.
Or like a spec script is actually a completely original script, not based on anything. So.
But I mean, Disney's Mulan, that white captain dude was one of the main characters / love interest. Just saying, that story's been told.
Wait, like her general guy?
No, there was the general guy was the evil dude, but then there was like handsome white captain man.
Was he white?
Yeah, it's totally a white guy.
Really?
Yeah. Come on, man, Disney's Mulan. I know it's not one of the better Disney movies.
I've never seen the animated one, right?
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Pocahontas. My bad.
Yeah, John Smith.
Yeah, well, literally the way you're doing John Smith. I'm literally thinking of Pocahontas. My bad.
I mean, if it's Pocahontas, that's one thing.
Remember Mulan? She jumped off the
You should have known something was wrong, and I was like, "What should happen?"
I never seen Mulan, so I'm like,
either.
talk away.
Oh, really?
Talk away.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was alright. Yeah, really, it was not one of the better ones.
No, that Mushu was okay.
Yeah, well,
what's his face played him?
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
Mushu.
He was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was good. The Hans were pretty terrifying. They did a good job with them.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that movie was totally about her like pretending to be a dude and going to war and stuff.
Yeah, it was a really good.
Basically, Joan of Arc.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah. Except they're both real things. And that was a really fun Kingdom Hearts 2 level.
Yeah.
Also, they're also releasing a Kingdom Hearts like 2.9 in February. I don't know if anyone saw that.
I did.
I
don't care.
It's very upsetting to be these past few weeks.
And they're redoing The Lion King, which I really
I did see the live action for that, but what the guy that did Jungle Book do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Favreau, or they're asking him to do or try to do it. I don't know,
Do
man.
something.
If something is perfect the first time, there's just no need to revisit it. Like The Lion King is perfect as it is.
Well, now that
they're doing a live action Beauty and the Beast, there's no need for that.
They're gonna milk it.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna
They're
totally milk it.
definitely gonna milk it.
And then it's all gonna be in a connected universe.
I mean, I know that this all started well before the current like backlash against remakes and sequels, but I mean, okay, they should have seen this coming. Like now that they have all these productions in place and all this stuff that's already coming out, they got to be pretty damn nervous because of everything that's happened this summer, where people are just completely turning their backs against that shit. Yeah.
We'll see.
There's so much of it going on.
Yeah, right. We'll see how Beauty and the Beast does. I mean, I'll start with Alice in Wonderland. I mean, that sequel didn't do well. But people are much more familiar with in Wonderland than Through the Looking Glass.
Right.
Just like people are much more familiar with the Chocolate Factory than the elevator that goes into the sky, whatever that book was called. Yeah. Real quick, we're going to touch on some of the New York Comic Con from this past week, some of the news from there. We'll actually start with the Matt Damon his movie, because we were talking about the whitewashing.
Yeah.
He's starring in a movie. What's it called? The Wall.
Oh, the Great Wall.
The Great Wall. It's about the Great Wall of China. It is a Chinese production with a Chinese director.
Yep.
Chinese everyone, starring Matt Damon.
Yep. Exactly. And Matt Damon.
I mean, I love Matt Damon. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Matt Damon said that he was bummed by the reception, the fact that it is starring a white lead. But he did say that the film is actually a monster movie. It's like a sci-fi fantasy film.
Mm-hmm.
So he said on those grounds it shouldn't be judged too harshly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, it's about the Great Wall in China, not Tennessee. Come on.
Well,
It makes me think of that joke from Paul Mooney on Chappelle Show, the last N-word on Earth.
Oh,
Starring Tom Hanks.
I mean, can you call it whitewashing if it's a Chinese production with a Chinese director?
he made the choice, right?
Right. Is it whitewashing? If it's not a Hollywood production?
I mean, I've read that the Chinese will pay white people to stand in line for them and like go to business meetings with them. Be like, look, I have white friends. That's a thing.
Can I get in on that?
I've thought that myself.
Listen, my complexion is light enough. I may not be white, but I'm saying I can stand in.
I will get you the article for that. That's a real thing. So they probably thought like, oh look, Matt Damon.
How much does that pay, bro?
I love Matt Damon. Oh, well,
I'd pay Matt Damon to stand in line.
oh my god.
But I mean, I am curious because the director, Zhang Yimou, he's a really good filmmaker. Like Hero, House of Flying Daggers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm looking forward. He hasn't made one film that I did not like. So
we'll judge it after we see it.
I'll judge on those grounds.
Yeah.
But still, having a white hero in a Chinese film.
Well,
The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
That's right. The third Mummy did star Brandon Fraser, and there was the Great Wall. But Jet Li was the Mummy, so that was pretty cool.
Listen, man, if Matt is good enough for Zhang Yimou, he's good enough for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first one to call it out when I see some whitewashing. This one, I'm going to give it a pass till I see it.
Yeah.
As long as the creative talent behind it made that choice, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, those
It
all
wasn't pushed on them by some Hollywood boardroom.
right. Like if it was all white people going to film there for Mulan, and everyone was white, like John Smith's everywhere. That's a problem.
You haven't heard about that sweet Pocahontas Mulan crossover?
Hey, maybe they'll do a live action for that pretty soon. Like I said, they're all going to be in their own universe. It's going to be the DCU, the real DC, the Disney connected universe.
What else we got, man?
From Comic-Con, we had the Defenders and the Iron Fist information drops.
Yes, Sigourney Weaver. She's cast as a central villain in the Defenders, upcoming crossover with Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. So her role is unspecified at this time, but that's a really good casting. Sigourney Weaver, great actress.
Yeah, I keep thinking she was in Guardians of the Galaxy, but she wasn't. She was an Avatar.
No,
Right.
I think
She wasn't totally an Avatar. You're right.
That was in...
Guardians, Glenn Close.
Yeah, something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she can be sufficiently douchey when she feels like it in roles, so she could be a good foil.
I'm really looking forward to that crossover.
Oh yeah. Did you guys actually catch the trailer for Iron Fist?
Yeah.
Watch it.
That was cool too.
That's cool. Yeah.
I posted it on our Facebook.
Nice. Thanks, Carl. I was not hyped.
You were whelmed.
I was not under or over. I was just whelmed. That is correct. Like it did not hit me with that hype feeling like I got when I saw Luke Cage. Like that got me hyped.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to him like the least.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how everybody feels anyway. Plus that dude from Game of Thrones. Like I never pictured like he was Loras Tyrell.
Was it Finn Jones in that?
Yeah. And I just never pictured him as a badass.
Yeah. Well, and also,
he's got work to do to win me over.
And Mike Coulter did so good, and Jessica Jones is Cage, like she's getting like that sprinkle in there. I was like, oh, I want his whole show.
Also, just based off that trailer,
yeah,
I'm not ready to believe him and Luke Cage could be boys.
Oh, right. That should be interesting. Yeah, Heroes for Hire. I'm interested to see that. Yeah, but that did drop something the last Netflix solo before they go to the Defenders.
Just off of the top of my head, what just jumped into my head right now watching that and sort of I'm not historically a big fan of Iron Fist and whatnot. Like I like Luke Cage. I've never read like the Heroes for Hire stuff too much. but Grant Gustin, the dude who plays the Flash, like Iron Fist is a silly dude.
Yeah.
And he's like the comedic element of that duo. I feel like he would probably have played a really good Iron Fist.
They did say he's supposed to be lighter in tone, so we should see.
I mean, like I said, he is the comedic part of
Yeah.
There's gonna be like a action comedy series out of Netflix. It's gonna be Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they're going for. That trailer went more for the action part of things, more of that vibe. But I wouldn't mind seeing them infuse it with a lot of, comedic elements because so far the Netflix series have been super duper, serious. They've taken themselves very seriously for good reason.
Yeah.
They deal with some heavy, subject matter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel has yet to steer us wrong.
That is true.
I agree.
Yeah. Some other news. There are two new teaser trailers, one for John Wick Chapter 2 and Power Rangers.
I really need to see John Wick Chapter 1, which I really want to
You
see.
haven't seen
No.
that?
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Man, John Wick is super cool.
I've heard
Right.
so many good things. That was like a sneaky good thing.
The high five.
Oh yeah, it was super sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see that. And real quick, I thought that Power Rangers trailer was super dope.
I was overwhelmed. on that one. I was expecting to be underwhelmed.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be dope.
Or just whelmed at most,
Yeah.
but I really like that.
Me too.
I'm very surprised by the tone they struck with it. They didn't go overly campy or silly. I thought they might have gone down that route. They're taking it just seriously enough, but still keeping it lighthearted from what I can tell from that trailer, and it made me intrigued to see more.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Zordon making a show.
No,
I'm very curious to see how Bryan Cranston's gonna pull that off.
Yeah.
I love Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's like the one nostalgia thing that I'm like okay with. And I was watching it.
I mean, I grew up on Power Rangers too, man. So
When I just clicking it, my initial thought was just like, it's good.
yeah,
And one of my friends probably posted it before we did, and I like never comment on Facebook anything, and anyone posts, but I commented on that one. I was like, oh, really good. I was like hyped after I saw that, and I just kept sticking to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I was expecting to come away from that trailer like I did when I watched that first Ghostbusters trailer. Yeah. I expected to just be pissed at how dumb it was and how they ruined something from my childhood.
Already on
No,
DVD.
it totally looked good.
Fast.
That's crazy. The other, I did hear that Max Landis, who wrote Chronicle, and he did Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. He said he was brought in for an early draft for that and got fired.
Oh.
And then they just made, according to him, they just made Chronicle. But he said he made it like retro, fun, and campy. But I don't think I would have wanted that.
Yeah.
Like I like what
agree
they
with
did.
that.
I like the way they went.
I don't want that retro. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Probably
That
more
belongs
like
to the
for our
90s.
generation than
Yeah.
the younger
If
generation.
they would have tried to set that in the 90s, I would have been out immediately.
Yeah,
I
me too.
think I would have just
It's like,
fit it in the
It's 5 teenagers with attitude.
Hmm.
They're fighting putties. It's not that hard. Just there you go. Just cool it up a little bit. Sex it up.
Yeah. All right, what do you think of it, Vic? I feel like you were in the middle of collecting your thoughts.
I was rather indifferent towards it. I mean, granted, this isn't 1993, and I'm not 9 years old anymore. So
that's why it shouldn't have been campy and shit. They made it cooler.
Well, I'm sure for current generations of kids will love it, but for me, it's like,
Bro.
that's Power Rangers. I grew out of this, so whatever.
That's what I felt about like every other thing in the 90s.
What? The Blue Ranger's a black guy now.
Cool.
Hey,
The black
did you see when she cut her hair? Super edgy. I'm pretty sure that she's gonna be the Black Ranger now, the emo one.
Okay.
I think the Asian girl's gonna be the Pink Ranger. They're no longer racists, you see.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Something I did not realize that until I was like, wait, I was like,
God damn it.
Well, the original Black Ranger, when he entered that Renown Comic Con a couple years ago, he said he thought it was cool back in the day because he saw himself like a superhero for, like young black kids. So that
was.
I can buy that.
Yeah. How do you excuse the Yellow Ranger being? It's like,
God rest his soul.
Yes, R.I.P. That's a good question. That's a good question. But hey, the white man was the leader.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
well, at the end of the day, when that movie comes out, you guys can review it.
Something right.
I'll just play it
Oh,
background.
is it too much? It's a movie that's too much fun for you, Vic.
Just quick last thought on that. If they made it like it was '93, like camping else, I would not have been into. It's like I like that they're taking it and just kind of
Put a little edge on it.
yeah, shaking it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Put it in a bottle. Shake it up. I like it.
Cool.
I can dig it.
Other movie news, Blade Runner sequel's got an official title now. It's called Blade Runner 2049. And that's going to be the sequel to Ridley Scott's 1982 classic, Denis Villeneuve. He's going to be directing this film. He directed Sicario last year and Prisoners. And the film's going to star Ryan Gosling, Dave Bautista, Robin Wright, and Jared Leto. And Harrison Ford is reprising his role as Rick Deckard, who was the protagonist of the original film.
Cool. What else you got?
Hey, Blade Runner's a classic.
I agree. I love Blade Runner. But, okay.
Yeah, these hobos haven't seen it.
It's going forward.
Really? You've never seen Blade Runner? You either, Carl?
Nah.
That's a classic, man. You guys need to watch that.
I want to hear a Carlberg summary of Blade Runner. Some new details of the third Wolverine film have been revealed. It's going to be called Logan, and James Mangold, he's returning to direct this film. He directed 2013's Wolverine film. Patrick Stewart's going to be in it, and Mr. Sinister will also be featured in the film. I think he's going to be the main villain, and Stephen Merchant is going to be in the film as well. He's going to play a character called Caliban. And also, Cliff Martinez is going to be providing the music for this film. He did the music for Neon Demon, which is an awesome soundtrack.
Yeah. And this is the confirmed rated R Wolverine movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. I wonder how they're going to base it off of Old Man Logan. I'm guessing they're just going to, by loosely based, they're just going to make it an older Wolverine and call it a day, because they obviously can't do that storyline.
According to the synopsis, he's older. It's 2024, something like that. He's older. His healing powers aren't working as well.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't follow the X-Men anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they have movies set in the 80s and 90s, and they have one in 2020. It's like, how? What?
You know, that kind of brings up an interesting point. Like, if you watch First Class and then Days of Future Past and then Apocalypse, those movies are supposed to be like 20 years apart, but they still look the same age.
Yeah. According to that, according to the chronological order that they're in right now, the 1980s where Apocalypse took place, Cyclops is 20 years old. That means he's 50 years old in 2010, and then 60 in 2024. That doesn't make sense. Or like Jean Grey too. Like everything ended so well for Wolverine in Days of Future Past. Now all of a sudden it's 2024. Well, first of all, he lost his adamantium at the end of the Wolverine.
Yep.
And then he had it back in Days of Future Past. No explanation given.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything's good at the end of Days of Future Past. Now everything's terrible again.
That's Fox.
Yeah.
Unless it's like
Fuck 'em.
he has like two alternate timelines in his head. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they explain it some way. I really hope they do. Like, this is like the end of the Days of Future Past dark timeline.
Yeah.
But it's just very complicated. And if you can't even like respect your own shit, then why would I?
Did you see the?
Mr. Sinister is
He is really cool.
I want to see that.
That's a real weird character. Like that, I feel like that character is one that's super easy to fuck up. So
Especially
I'm
like
interested to see how they portray it.
Did you see the meme that Ryan Reynolds put out right after what's the name? Hugh
Yeah, the
Jackman
one
put out-
that says that's me holding his hand.
Yeah.
Holding his hand. Yep.
So yeah, I got to laugh at that.
Awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out March 3rd, 2017. Other news, Fallout 4 and Skyrim for the PS4 will be getting mods after all. Apparently Bethesda has worked with Sony to produce some approved mods for the PS4 versions. Skyrim Special Edition is coming out October 28th. It's going to feature, it's going to run in native 4K on the Pro. Fallout 4 will also boast better lighting and graphics as well for the Pro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or well, it's the PS4 Pro, so you have to call it faux K.
Hey. That says Skyrim is gonna run in native 4K.
Mm-hmm.
The native 4K.
Such real K.
That's fine. I mean, well, let me ask you this: can the PS4 Pro play?
Real as hell.
Can it play Ultra HD discs?
No.
Then I don't care. Let's move on.
No one cares. Literally no one was. Hey Maury, when's the last time you put a disc in any of your consoles for a movie disc? What I thought, Carl.
6 months ago for Star Wars.
Well, I've been out of a console for quite some
Before
time.
that, Carl. Obviously, I mean when you had a working console.
I've just been streaming.
They did that.
Everyone streams. Everyone streams.
Everyone doesn't mean 3 people.
You're the only one.
75% of people stream. And we are the
majority.
Yeah, you are the 25%.
Sorry, stream is in the I'll take a piss. Anyway,
I am going to buy that Skyrim just because of that
really?
native 4K. By the way, yeah, I'm gonna get that totally.
That's cute.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get like a launch or anything because that Final 15 is coming out pretty soon, so I'll probably get it like after that at some point. But
Yeah, Final 15 will probably be the last game I play on the regular PS4. I'm not because I don't know if I'm gonna get it at launch. The Pro, we'll see.
I'm planning to. So
When does the
I'll
Pro
let you
come
know
out?
how that sweet
Thank you.
4K Final 15 looks.
Also, I will probably be waiting for a VR bundle with the new PS4 Pro. That is actually my goal.
Okay.
When's the release date for the Pro?
November 10th.
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming out real soon. So yeah, I'm planning on playing Final 15 there. I want the best Final 15 experience I can get.
good for you. And
It is. Thanks, Vic.
yeah. Other news, last bit of news, the Suicide Squad is going to receive an extended cut.
Don't bury the lead. No one cares about that.
Hey, some people care.
There's an Overwatch Halloween event that started today, y'all. That's the real important story. It started today. There's new loot boxes. There's new costumes. There's a sweet-ass Jack-o'-lantern head Reaper costume that I want so bad.
Yes. I'll be buying that immediately. Because apparently I haven't spent any of my in-game currency.
Well, make sure you open your free loot box first.
Okay.
To see if you get it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because you don't want to spend that currency.
Yeah, that'd be annoyed at that.
I was very annoyed at that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Luke Cage!
Yeah, before we get to that, I do want to mention the Suicide Squad thing because it's just WB doing the same shit again. Oh, here's the real movie now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, they do call themselves the DC Extended Universe for a reason.
I like
Is
it.
it gonna be rated R? Is it gonna have, whatever, like new stuff in it that's gonna be more adulty?
Probably. It's 13 minutes of extra footage.
Right, but is it gonna be like? Have they said this is gonna be rated R, the real ass movie?
They didn't say like
whatever. Who cares?
not the same thing as Batman
The
vs
hot
Superman.
topic.
Everybody
Avengers.
releases extended editions. I can't blame DC for that. Everyone does that now.
I can. And I will. Because you guys be like, oh, it's better. Whatever. Like you said, Luke Cage.
Okay.
Luke Cage. Who's that again, Vic?
Luke Cage, he is a superhero,
Mhm.
man on the streets, man of the streets.
Mhm.
Okay, I feel like I need to cut in there.
Luke
Victor is
Cage.
once again burying the lead. Luke Cage is a bulletproof black man.
I was getting to that, man.
That's the first thing, Vic.
Lead with that, Vic!
All right, you lead the fucking thing, man. Jesus
I
Christ.
just did! I ended it!
Hey, continue then. Shit.
He is the protector of Harlem.
Mhm.
He is super awesome, and he is a very handsome man.
Very handsome. Right. So based off the Netflix shows that came out of all the Marvel heroes, they're street level heroes. They've had Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Now we got Luke Cage, Iron Fist to come. Luke Cage is, like you said, a bulletproof black man. After the events of Jessica Jones, he moves 20 minutes worth of drive up the road to Harlem, about an hour walk. I Google mapped it just to see how far it was.
So you're telling me that Luke Cage could have literally just walked up to Jessica Jones' apartment and just be like, "Hey, there's this dude bothering." Oh, first off, spoilers. I should.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
spoilers. This is gonna be all spoilers.
Okay, so you've been properly warned.
Yeah.
Hey, Jessica Jones, there's this dude Diamondback. I could probably use some help. What's up?
Yeah.
So 20 minutes.
No, 20-minute drive.
Well,
He
yeah, I mean, you
walks
could have
within
just
an hour.
Ubered. New York, just taxis
I don't think he
everywhere.
had a phone. I don't think he had a phone. He didn't have a cell phone because he wanted to stay off the grid.
Pretty sure everyone around him did.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have called someone. Literally anyone.
Right.
Like that lawyer friend.
Payphones, I'm sure those still exist over there somewhere.
I don't think so.
Walked into a bodega.
But I think
Well,
so.
yeah,
So he
fine.
moved up the road to Harlem to get away from the past, and then again the past with Jessica Jones, and he wants to start his life anew. And Vic, leave some of the details of the show, the production of the show, if you got those in those copious notes there.
What do you want to know?
The actor.
Oh, yeah, the film. Film.
All of a sudden, Victor's turned into Carl.
You got them all hot and bothered.
Now, the show stars Mike Coulter,
Mm,
reprising his role of Luke Cage,
Mhm.
real name Carl Lewis.
Mhm.
I'm glad he changed his name. I mean, who the hell is named Carl?
I don't even like refer to the same story.
As far as
Carl
I-
Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas, yeah. Carlos
Yeah.
is a sprinter?
Huh?
He was an
No,
Olympian.
you're thinking Carl Lewis.
Yeah, so he did say Carlos, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
said
he
Carl
was
Lewis.
a sprinter. But it was funny in the show when they kept saying Carl. I was like, Carl!
I'm just sitting there like, my God, so much on TV now.
Man.
Yeah, so 13 episodes of Awesomeness. The show is created by Chio Hodari Coker, who's the writer and executive producer of shows like NCIS LA, Almost Human, and Southland. And what's interesting about this show is that it's like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. It's all about the street level, where it takes place primarily in Harlem. And what I like about it too is that Harlem is very much a character in the show.
Yep.
And the show has like this level of authenticity that I found most welcome, because my biggest fear going into the show was that it would show like this faux authenticity of like exaggerated blackness, if you will, like, oh, look how hood we are. and it's like no, it feels like a very real
Yeah,
place.
he really embodied the like just the culture of like Harlem.
Yeah.
That really like struck out to me. To me, I was like watching. It was like New York and Marvel meets New York Undercover. So I really like dug into this.
Mm-hmm. And also what reminded me of that, the New York Undercover thing, was that how they cleverly used music artists featured in that nightclub, Harlem's Paradise.
It was definitely the best music that any Marvel has used ever, in my opinion. I'm not a music person in general.
It's one of my favorite soundtracks for any television program
Actually,
I've ever seen ever. Like not just Marvel, not just superhero, but just anything.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to that show is
Because
excellent.
Carl, you sent it to us, I believe. And
Yeah.
I was listening to that.
Some
like,
genius
nonstop.
put it together on Spotify, and I was like, yes! I just sent it to like so many people.
Yeah, and the composers of the soundtrack of the music are Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest, and Adrian Young, who did the score for Black Dynamite.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense why that score's so awesome.
Yeah. And plus, like the show is actually considered a neo blaxploitation, and I can totally see that.
Well, Power Man was created during the blaxploitation era.
Yep, 1972, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what was cool is that aside of how they use like different music artists like Faith Evans, Raphael Sadiq. When they used Raphael Sadiq in the first episode, I was
my
like,
damn mind, especially when he played that song "Good Man."
Yes.
I love that song.
Stone Rolling is an awesome album. And also
check out the video to that song too, because Tyrese from Walking Dead is in that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Also too, what was it? There's something else too that I really liked about the show are the villains as well. You have Cornell Stokes, aka Cottonmouth, played by Mahershala Ali, and Alfre Woodard. She was really good as Mariah Dillard, or Black Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been I don't know how many years it's been since I've seen Alfre Woodard sink her teeth in a meaty role like that, and she knocked it out of the park.
Someone messed up at Marvel because she was the mother who made Tony Stark feel bad.
Yes.
So someone made a boo-boo in that casting because it is not the same character, but it is the same universe. So I thought it would be interesting if they said she had like a long lost sister or something. To say something
like a twin.
Yeah, but I've never hated a character more, like a villain. I hate her so much. God, I hate her so much.
Speaks well.
She did really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if any politician gets arrested 3 times and not charged, they're still probably gonna be in a lot of trouble with the media.
Yeah, I liked how she used the media to her advantage, basically painting Luke Cage as like a freak, and how everyone needs to stop him, and others like him, like basically like the mutants of the MCU, although they can't use mutants legally.
Right.
I liked how she used the media to her advantage in that way. I liked how Cottonmouth was portrayed, like he was like this laid back guy who was all about cultivating this image of being like this self-sufficient gang leader, this crime boss,
The King of New York,
like the King of New York, basically. I love that one shot especially where he walks in front of that Biggie poster, and the crown's like right on top of his head. Yeah, like
he was my favorite character in the show, actually.
Yeah, me too. Like I really like, because you could tell like Mahershala Ali, he's a really good actor, and like he gave that role his all. Like he really enjoyed that. You can tell. And then like midway in this series when he died, I was like, oh,
I was not happy about that.
I wasn't either, because I'm
super
upset that he was gonna be like the main villain, and then like he killed him off.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, well, first off about the music, just the music was excellent. To your point, the Raphael Sadiq, that performance was awesome.
Yep.
My favorite was, I think it was episode 3 or 4. Three might have been the Jadania.
Yeah, Long
Um,
Chief.
Yeah, along with the Chief. So it would have been episode 4 then, where they had Charles Bradley.
Yeah, Indian Sin.
Yeah, Ain't It a Sin. That was my favorite performance of the entire show. That old man was fucking feeling it. He was putting it down on that stage. I was like, damn, he was showing them youngins what it do.
Real quick, Furman says, Konnichiwa, bitches. Victor sucks.
Go fuck yourself, Furman.
So yeah, my thought on this show is that it's very much a tale of two halves. The first 7 to 8 episodes of the show were some of the best television that I have seen ever, pretty much. It was really, really good. It reminded me of The Wire in certain aspects. The like you guys already mentioned, the cultural authenticity of the show, the soundtrack, like everything was. Like, I feel like the music in itself was a character in the show. It was very well thought out, and it really added something to the production instead of just being something in the background. Like if you go back and you really compare it to what's been done just even on the Marvel Netflix shows, like Daredevil and the music and that, it's just background noise when you compare it to Luke Cage. And all the performances of the main cast of those first 7, 8 episodes, like you said, Mahershala Ali, as Cottonmouth, Black Mariah was really good, Pop was really friggin' good. And everything that was going on in that, in the neighborhood, and all the history that was going on, and all the background stories that they were telling us in the background, episode 4, where it tells us Luke Cage's backstory.
Yep.
And all of that good stuff was just amazing. Like I feel like they didn't make one misstep. From the point in episode 6 where Cottonmouth gets killed off, I feel like the show really went downhill. Like it didn't become terrible or anything. It's just that Diamondback is such a weak villain compared to
It's
Cottonmouth.
when they replaced Cottonmouth with Diamondback.
Right.
I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think if the actors didn't have the charisma.
I think, you know what, I don't think, I thought the same thing at first, and then I really thought about it, and I think it was that character is just a shitty character.
Yeah.
He's a cartoon character. They didn't give him much to work with. He has no complexity to him.
He just comes out, I'm your brother.
Right. Yeah, and it's like, okay, man, like I was kind of pissed because he played him very cartoonishly, but I think that's what that character called for. So I can't blame that actor that shitty character had to be played shittily.
And to that, I'm glad you brought that up because like one of the problems that I had with Diamondback was the fact that I don't know if this is a weird case of like of questionable writing, but the fact that Luke Cage didn't immediately acknowledge him as, oh shit, there's my half brother.
Yeah.
Like the whole part where up until the point where Diamondback shoots him with that hammer bullet, he's like, you're like my brother, and then Diamondback's like goes, N-word, I am your brother, and then he shoots him, and then you find out that, oh yeah, they are literally half brothers, and it's like,
well, no, he didn't know he was his half brother though.
well,
He literally didn't know. He thought they were friends. I mean, until he had that flashback that he totally remembered. Oh yeah, that's totally my brother.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember they had that flimsy ass flashback in the church where he's like,
Oh, that's
oh yeah, my dad totally banged his mom.
Yeah, that's why I thought the writing was questionable because when I saw that flashback,
also that whole episode. I mean, I thought the part was that right after they were in the theater.
Yeah,
Like that part. Is it Luke Cage's theme song? Like when he Luke Cage is out, like a very specific song plays, like right before he hit the pillar to like knock it down. There's a specific song that plays, and I love it. Like when you know, like Luke Cage is about to go.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of different hip hop.
Yeah, I have to find that.
I don't remember any one song sticking out to me as like a theme.
When he started like doing his thing, they started playing a song which I feel like I heard more than once, but I'll have to find it. But like I enjoyed that scene in the inside the theater, like when he knocked the pillar out. But then he's like walking down the middle of the street for like it seems like forever, and all of a sudden he's just behind him again. And then there's just a garbage truck
Yep.
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, that was pretty convenient.
Yeah, but that's that whole. I think that kind of like confused the whole thing. It was just weird.
Yeah, and also for a dude who's like obviously trained
Shoot him
in
in the face.
military tactics,
Shoot him in the face.
he kind of sucks at shooting people. Like, you're really terrible. You have terrible aim, bud. You have a scope.
That always happens. Shoot him in the face. Yeah, let's go. Didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
It was a sniper rifle.
What did you guys think about the final fight between Diamondback and
That was
Cage?
super shitty. Like I
Yeah,
said,
that was the downfall. I was expecting like a lot more from that
Yeah,
final fight.
I was laughing my ass off when that older guy, Bobby Fish. He's like, "What kind of John Paul Gaultier shit is this? Looking like a pimp stormtrooper." So I'm like, he does look like a pimp stormtrooper.
The costume was super bad. It was so
When I
terrible.
was reading some of the Luke Cage stuff afterwards, they did try to pull that like right from the comics. Sometimes it's better off left in the comics. Like the quick throwback to Luke Cage's original thing. It's like, you look like an idiot, damn fool.
I actually read somewhere, I'm not sure how legit the article was, but Quentin Tarantino was actually upset because they didn't use the original Luke Cage costume with the yellow shirt.
Dumb.
Well, I'm glad Quentin Tarantino's not directing
Well,
Netflix
they
shows.
did.
Wait, do you have anything from our Facebook feed, Carl? I keep
Yeah.
seeing you like staring at your phone and coming back to the mic like you want to say something.
Yeah, let me see. Mostly, it's all confirming. He says, it's the most chocolatey delicious show I've seen. The cast is fantastic. They fucked up killing Stokes. I haven't seen an episode since. I can smell Victor from here. And top characters in the show. 1, Luke. 2, Stokes. 3, Shades.
Yeah,
I like Shades.
Shades was good.
Before we get to the rest of the villains, I think I might have been the only person who enjoyed the last fight.
Really?
Yeah.
I did enjoy the last fight, as cornball as it was.
I just like.
I thought it was like some bootleg inspirational bullshit.
I think that's what they were trying to get at.
Yeah. It reminded me of the fight between Debo and Ice Cube in Friday. It really did.
Yeah, that's a very good comparison.
Like the thing that really like lost me was when what's her name? The nurse. What's her name?
Oh,
Claire Temple.
Claire. Yup. Started going Luke. Luke. I was like,
But
okay,
it was like
this is
off-key. It
fucking
was like
corny.
off-key too.
I am done with you've lost me.
I like that there was in these Netflix shows because they're very street level and they kind of go back and like the superpower. They kind of dial back on that. But Luke Cage is like the one guy in this Netflix crew that could literally be an Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
If I were Tony Stark, I would have recruited Luke Cage and not Spider-Man for the airport fight. And I like that his last fight was literally just him versus another superpowered guy. I just thought that was great. They just punched the shit out of each other. I love it. It was there was some very cornballish moments there. But it was Harlem versus Diamondback.
Yeah. I was not a
It
fan.
was actually like the series finale of Arrow this past year, which is weird.
To be fair, I didn't think the action in this show was great at all. Like overall, it wasn't. But I also chalked that up to the fact that Luke Cage didn't really have to do much.
Yeah.
He didn't really have to like MMA anybody.
Yeah.
He just walks up to people and pin slaps them.
Yeah.
Just like-
It's great.
Oh, the end of episode 1 when the guy who plays Suge Knight broke his hand.
Oh yeah.
That was actually pretty good. He just like damn near murdered those guys, and then the last guy standing there who was really big, he's like, "Yo, I don't even like these guys." Not the exact words that he used, and he just ran off.
That was
hilarious.
That was the first part they showed his powers, and that hand breaking on his face was pretty awesome. And the same thing with Diamondback. The very, very end, punch him in the face because his face was uncovered. Punch him in the mouth.
That's all.
You win.
That's all.
Come on, guys. Let's get it together.
Maybe it's
I
like,
think it was more like.
I mean, he did punch him in the face to end the fight.
That is true.
But he should have done that from the start.
I also think it's cool that Luke Cage kind of brought in the incident, as which they call it, because it was all Chitauri technology that was powering him. So that's like the biggest call through to the movies that they've had so far.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
And Hammer Technologies from Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Tony Stark's rival.
Yep. And the metal was the alien metal that
Yep.
the Chitauri's had. Yep.
So I really enjoyed
That's all
that.
very
That
interesting.
fight was pretty funny. Furman wants us to mention Misty,
Yes.
who is the worst cop of all time.
Hey.
She's literally the worst.
No,
She didn't arrest one person.
I thought she was a very good character, Simone Missick. She did a fantastic job in that role, and
She did.
as Mercedes Misty Knight. And they did provide a teaser at the last episode where she was shot in her left arm, so she might get a bionic replacement later on. So I thought that
She healed from that real quick.
yeah, because I noticed that too. Because
Like the bullet went through her arm. I'm
Like,
like,
hit an artery, and they said you might lose your arm, and then she was okay.
yeah, like they never brought that up again towards the end of it.
she was using her arm.
Yeah, her arms in a sling. It's like, yeah, I'll be fine.
That I will say that Harlem Police Department was the most useless police department.
Yeah.
She did arrest people. They just immediately got out.
all of them.
Yeah, and
All of them. Not one person she arrested got arrested.
Well, that's part of her frustration. Like she to the point where she spazzed out on Claire Temple.
Shit, yeah, everyone spazzed out. Well, I want to get to that one quick second. Back to the Cottonmouth, where I think the show took a little bit of a not dive, but the quality went down because he got replaced with Diamondback. I love Cottonmouth. His laugh annoyed the shit out of me in a good way.
Annoyed. It was awesome.
It was
I
awesome.
love that laugh so
And
much.
I was like, yeah, stop doing that, Cottonmouth, big fat jerk. And then when he got knocked out of the window, I was like, maybe he's okay. He's crawling away. No, he's dead.
I was not expecting him.
No, I didn't expect it either. That was a total surprise to me, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
There were so many villains in that freaking show. There's so many villains.
Yeah.
And Shades was another villain.
Shades was good.
Yeah.
Shades was good.
That police department also had so many crooked cops.
Oh yeah, that was another surprise too, which I should have seen coming when he was with Chico, and he like.
Oh yeah.
choked his
You
head
didn't
out.
see that coming?
No.
I saw it coming from a mile away. I'm like, he's sitting here eating, and I'm like, oh, you dead. Show that, bro. You're so fucking dead.
What about all the Chinese food I was eating? But I did not see that one coming.
Saw it coming from a mile
I feel
away.
like shit happened.
I was hurt when Pop died though.
Oh yeah.
That hit me hard.
But yeah, man, like her partner, like I think they did a nice job with Misty's partner. What was the dude's name?
Oh, Scarf.
Yeah, Scarf. Like I feel like he was a real tragic character. Like once they revealed his backstory with his kid dying and all that stuff, I'm like, oh man, that guy lived a shitty life.
Yeah.
That sucks. And what was it? The lieutenant guy, the Dominican dude. He was just an asshole.
Oh yeah.
That was the other crooked cop,
Oh yeah.
played by Manny Perez. He was so crooked. He was
Really
such an
smart.
asshole, and he just gave himself away like an idiot.
Yeah. And then when they arrested Cottonmouth, I was just like, I remember at the very end of the episode, I'm like, what are they arresting him for? He died. And then the next episode, he got out. Yep. Because they couldn't keep one person for life for any period of time.
Hey,
I've met that dude, Manny Perez. If I ever see him again, I'll tell him to stop being a stupid crooked cop.
oh man. And also, random thought: Theo Rossi, the guy who plays Shades, he does look like a Hispanic Adam Sandler. Just saying.
When he was,
That dude's name is Theo Rossi, though. Is he Hispanic?
I think
He
he's
is.
Italian.
Is he?
No, he's Italian.
I mean, that his
He
name
played-
is Theo Rossi.
I thought he
That
was.
sounds
No,
Italian
he's
as hell.
actually Italian.
maybe he's adopted. Look it up.
Doesn't he play a Hispanic character on Sons of
Yeah,
Anarchy?
his character is actually half black,
So
half
you
Puerto
just
Rican.
assume that he's Hispanic because he played another Hispanic character, Vic?
He played quite a few actually.
That's what I would assume.
So he's been typecast, is what
He,
you're saying.
that was the only time I ever like cheered for a villain when he was in the elevator and those guys tried to get him. No,
That was actually pretty
I
good.
Oh,
totally I thought he was dead. I really did.
Yeah.
But it turns out there's a lot of useless crime, not even lords, but just criminals in that show.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
that one dude tried to step up, and then Shades just killed him at the end after he tried to kill him in the elevator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and then the guy that killed Pop. I was very upset. It's like he had a parlay. Why'd you just go straight up and do that? They had some. They were doing something. Why did that guy everyone's trying to take power and stuff like that, and that started the. But I understand it also started like the entire show.
Yeah, and but just FYI, that dude's full name is John Theodore Rossi. There's no fucking way that dude's Hispanic.
My question for you guys is, how did you feel about them? I don't think because a lot of the the Black Lives Matters movement kind of played a role into into the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially with the Method Man.
Mhm.
I freaking love that cameo.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best parts of the whole show.
But there
That
was
was a
a lot of
cool
that stuff
cameo.
with like them going after the young black kids. I always noticed that it was always a black cop that was doing things to the black kids, but they kind of played on current events a little bit.
Yeah.
And how did y'all feel about that?
Well, I knew they started shooting it last Labor Day, so by that time, during that time, I think it was the Freddie Gray incident in Baltimore was going on. So, like, you kind of knew they was gonna touch
I
on
did.
that.
I didn't know that.
I
I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
But I did not know that they were doing that.
I don't know if they would have gone gone there. They totally did.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
thoughts?
they
See, that's-
very specifically said that the hoodie was a callback to Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
For example. That's up to our guy, Vic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I love the fact that they use a bullet riddled hoodie as like a political statement in the show. Like the fact that you have a bulletproof black man as a hero is a really profound and really ballsy statement to make, especially in the light of like black men who have been killed by cops on camera, like Philando Castile and Alton Sterling among others. And I like the fact that there was one scene where Method Man's that he's being interviewed by Sway on his radio show, and you see this montage of different black men, different black people actually wearing bullet-riddled hoodies. So when the cops pull over and try to apprehend them, it's always somebody else and not Luke Cage. I thought that was a really profound and awesome statement to make in the show. So I thought it was done very well.
I agree. That was pretty cool. I like that Method Man cameo as well. Yeah, I mean, I thought that the show really knew what its identity was, which I really appreciated. It is unapologetically black and
Super black.
It knew it. Oh yeah, it is super duper black. And I enjoyed every minute of it from episode 1 to 8.
Yeah, I was telling Maurice about that article that my cousin of mine, shout out to cousin Gloria, she posted this up. How like people were really upset because it was just they felt it was too black. But I'm like,
see,
it's in Harlem.
I got something to say about that, and it might not be what you guys think. I gotta call some bullshit on that, because there were certain websites and just media in general trying to push this thing, saying that there's all these white people that are pissed off that Luke Cage is so black, and every time I've seen, I know you were, but there's nothing you can do about it. I've seen several articles pushing this narrative, and every one of them just had the same list of 8 tweets from the same 8 people. I'm like, okay, so you're trying to use these 8 tweets to make it look like it's like an epidemic. Like, fuck you. There's always gonna be somebody who's offended by everything. Yeah. It's not gonna be a fucking outcry. Like the fact that Luke Cage came out on that Friday and it crashed Netflix servers. It crashed Netflix. When the hell have you ever seen that happen? That tells me that there were plenty of people who were glad to be watching that show. So, you know what? Fuck that narrative. Fuck everyone who was pissed off about it, first off, but fuck that the media and the websites who tried to push that and try to make it look like it was a bigger issue than it actually was.
My biggest pet peeve ever is when you see an article or journalism, and they say, someone feels this way. The internet is really angry about this. And then they literally just quote 4 people.
Right. Yeah.
I can type in butt stuff into Twitter, and there's lots of people doing butt stuff, like 10 people. Doesn't mean the whole country's in an epidemic of butt stuff.
The internet loves butt stuff. I mean, that is a factual statement.
There may be way more than 10. That was a bad example.
That's a real bad example.
But you know what I'm saying. You can find anything that people be upset about, and then write an article about it.
And you'll find a whole bunch of clickbaity list articles, which I really hate.
It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And also too, I also like the fact that in the last episode, the villains, particularly Black Mariah, actually won in the end. And Cage, he's back in the pokey, but he won't be in there for long. And it leaves some interesting threads. Like for example, that one scientist who actually gave Luke Cage's powers, the fact that he's recovered Diamondback. So I wonder how many experiments is he gonna perform on him?
Yeah, because he was able to. They did a good bad job of destroying his work.
Yeah,
because he immediately found it.
Yeah, he immediately found his random hard drive. It's like, back at it.
Yeah.
Our fan Furman with a good point on the chat that totally makes sense. He says, Shade look like Daddy Yankee. He sure does. He does look like Daddy Yankee.
Friend who looks just like Shades. Like he was wearing the shades. I'm just like, yo, you really do look like him.
I tried wearing my sunglasses inside, and I just tripped over things. It's a bad idea.
Hey Carl, wasn't he in?
Tough act to pull off, man.
Wasn't he in When the Bow Breaks?
He was. He was.
He was nearly cool enough for Shades inside.
Yeah. But I will say one of the more ruthless villains that I've seen in the show was in a flashback was Mama Mabel Stokes.
Oh yeah, she was a G.
Yeah.
Mama Mabel was a G.
She was not fucking around.
I
don't know.
What
She fucked them kids up though.
Oh, shit.
Quick question,
Yeah.
because the only thing I missed, when she made Cottonmouth kill his uncle, what did he do?
He sold them out to the Hispanics,
Okay.
the Puerto Ricans.
So I think I either didn't pay attention at that point or something was
He
happening
basically tried to sell like their crime empire, like in a partnership
to get like out of the business.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to take over Mama Mabel's business, he
Gotcha.
tried to basically sell whatever they run guns or whatever it was, to the Puerto Ricans. Mama Mabel or Stokes sold him out, and the rest.
Yeah.
Not having that at all.
Little kid that got.
And plus, like, that guy was actually, I guess, molesting.
Yes.
Mariah.
That's what I
yeah,
thought.
Mariah.
Okay.
Not like that. They made it pretty explicit.
Yeah, that I caught that part, but I feel like there was more to that I missed, which I
Yeah, I mean that's why she killed Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Totally said she wanted it.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. She did not.
She did
She
not
told
approve
him
of that statement.
over and over.
Yes. With a mic stand to the face.
Yeah.
At first, champagne
No, it was
bottle to
actually
the back of
just-
the head.
Oh yeah.
No, it was actually to the chest, and then because Shades actually came in and started punching him in the face to make it look like Luke Cage killed.
That is true. Yes, that did happen.
That,
But I remember thinking like the mic stand to the chest. I was like, is that enough? But I guess it was. I mean, he did fall like 2 stories. Really upsetting.
What did you guys think of Claire Temple in this show? I feel like this was definitely the most involved
Yeah.
she's been in any of the Marvel Netflix shows.
That road trip they took to
Pretty
Georgia was
wrong.
weird.
Yeah.
It was like all the weird, it was out of nowhere. Like all this stuff has happened. It's New York. They have cameras everywhere. Luke Cage is doing all these things. He's in fucking Georgia. He's not even anywhere near you. That was a little weird. But she was
bro, he
heavily
had a
involved.
hoodie on.
That is true. That's a good point.
I thought Claire Temple worked into the show very well. I like the fact that she's stepping up, like she's starting to find her calling of helping these street level superheroes.
Yeah.
After what she's been through. So I think she was an organic fit.
I think that they're doing a real interesting thing where they're weaving her narrative through all of these shows, and I'm wondering, what she's gonna do in Iron Fist. Like, she's gonna be in that.
Yeah, they just
You
announced
know
that. They announced it during Comic Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Claire Temple is gonna be in it. That makes a lot of sense. But it's interesting that she's on her way. Like, and they call out Night Nurse. That's her comic book character.
Well, that's another thing.
They make a call out
The
to
interesting
her.
about that is that she's technically not the night nurse. She was going to be the night nurse, but then the movie people said no
Really?
because Rachel McAdams is going to be the night nurse in Doctor Strange.
Really?
Yep. So that was the TV people saying, "Fuck you guys, she's
Oh.
the night nurse."
That's ridiculous.
So they're like, "Oh, Stephen DeKnight, he did Daredevil." He was like, "Oh yeah, we just called her Claire Temple because she's another actress,
oh,
or
that's
another
whack.
comic book character." Yeah.
That's super whack.
Super
I don't
whack.
like that. That's a real DC move, Marvel.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. It's like they had plans for her in the movie thing.
Yeah,
But it's like
yeah.
if she's only helping Doctor Strange. Like, get out of here, Rachel McAdams. I love you so much. Get out of here.
Unless they establish a night nurse clinic.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, I feel like she could be a good link between the movies. I feel like Luke Cage of all the shows is the biggest. They could be the biggest link to the movies because he is such a freaking G. You're so cool.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's just so cool.
I really want to see him in Avengers. Like, I really
I
hope
wanna
they
see
turn him
us.
into Avengers.
Like, I can
Infinity War.
They do a good job of making it seem like Daredevil just goes like the street level stuff. But Daredevil is not quite there for like the fight at like the airport. That's what I was thinking. Could they fight in the airport? Daredevil probably not. I think they just
No.
get swatted away.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, she's really strong, but swatted away. Maybe. That's super
I feel like she could.
I mean,
fall
she'll
there.
get swatted. She'll get swatted. I think
fall
she'll
She
get
have like one punch at least.
I mean-
Luke Cage could literally just.
I don't know, the fact that like Black Widow was there and
That's true.
Hawkeye were there.
That's a good point.
I mean, even Daredevil could have been okay.
Yeah, I think it would okay. But Luke Cage especially.
Oh, Luke Cage would.
He would've been, like, top 3.
Beefing,
He
yeah.
went top 3.
Yeah, he would have been pretty good there.
But they're like established. They're just he just doesn't know what. But yeah, he guess he learned to fight in the prison before that.
Oh, yeah,
So
totally.
they did that little backstory.
One thing I will say about that Georgia section of the show, did you guys totally see it coming when the doctor, like, they destroyed his little thing in his computer, and I'm like, he totally copied the thumb drive. He's got all the files now. you guys did nothing. And then like 2 seconds later, he like puts his computer back together. And he's like, I've got all the files now. You guys did nothing.
Yeah, they did not do a good job of destroying his computer.
I was like, Luke Cage, oh, you're so dumb.
Well,
Like, that was just that IT guy in me. I'm like, no, Luke Cage, put that in the microwave, man. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, in his defense, I mean, after going through that excruciating acid bath, he probably wasn't thinking straight. He's like, I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that made me uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I did not like that scene. I did not enjoy that.
I also like that the callback to his old costume, which looks mad ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, he's just like, it's fucking ugly.
It's like a
Damn fool.
Yeah.
Well, I know that.
You look like a damn fool.
I mean, he kind of did look like a modern slave in that kind of getup.
Sure
so,
did.
Yeah, I'm glad they nixed that.
How did you feel about all the using of the N-word?
I appreciated it. It added to the authenticity.
Yeah, very
and,
authentic.
and I like the fact that each character had different feelings towards the word.
Yeah, that was very complex. Absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
like Luke Cage doesn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that one scene where that one kid tried to shoot him in the back
Oh,
of the
that
head.
scene was really intense. That was a really good scene.
You're gonna call me that in front of one of our, famous heroes because it's Addison.
Yeah.
I believe he was the guy that was killed at the Boston Massacre.
Yeah, he was the first casualty.
of the
Yep.
Revolutionary War. Yep.
Yeah, and then you had other characters like Cottonmouth who says it like it's nothing.
My favorite
So-
scene of the entire show, I think, was when he said, "Oh, you think you're Harlem's Captain America? N-word, please." That was really, really. I laughed. I did laugh at that. Just the way he
If Luke Cage was cool, he would have been like,
yeah, totally am. I can actually beat up Captain America.
yeah, I'm
That's
actually
right.
way cooler than Captain America.
And also too, I like the fact that they brought up like I forgot who brought it up, but I said like I think it was either Cottonmouth or Luke Cage or somebody said that. Do you think somebody like the Avengers would ever show up here in Harlem, or something to that effect? Like those characters, like they're all about like international or cosmic threats. They would not show their white asses in Harlem, except for maybe Tony Stark. Well, he would show up in Queens for Spider-Man, but that was it. That's as far as he goes.
Yeah.
But Luke Cage is a truly a man of the people. Captain America would not set foot there.
So, I mean, wrap it up for me, guys. Give me your feeling, your real feelings, your final thoughts here on Luke Cage.
I would say, so for me, just ranking real quickly, Daredevil Season 1, because it was the first one. I just love Daredevil. These are my favorites. Luke Cage Season 1. Then Jessica Jones, Daredevil Season 2, and then we'll see what happens with Iron Fist. I think Daredevil Season 2 is too many ninja. Way too many ninja.
Yeah.
I think the binging made it difficult because it was just one, like episode after episode after episode. But Luke Cage, speaking as a white man, I really enjoyed it. I loved it a lot. Like I'm glad that they got the platform to do that.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I'm glad that there is black superhero who's literally bulletproof. Like you said,
It's a powerful statement.
yeah, very powerful
And
statement.
I'm really glad that Marvel gave them the freedom and
Yeah.
interfere to let them do that and come through with their creative vision and actually realize it.
I can see a lot of studios saying, "Ooh."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm really glad they did that. I've been looking. I've never really read Luke Cage, but I want to now, especially some of the Heroes for Hire stuff. And
Yeah, I've read some of his Avengers stuff, and
Yeah,
he's
that's the stuff I really want
that's
to
the
see.
stuff that I've read. Like that's where most of my Luke Cage.
That's more recent. He's been.
Yes.
Yeah, I did want to get into the Power Man Iron Fist stuff too as well.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. He's close. Like I really enjoyed Daredevil Season 1, but Luke Cage is close to eclipsing the character itself.
Mhm.
In some way, he actually might be number one for me in the Netflix series. Maybe even the entire MCU. He's legit. I just really enjoyed him a lot. And
Yeah.
Mike Coulter nailed it.
Yep.
And Luke Cage is just cool as the other side of the pillow. He's just so cool.
He is fresh as lettuce.
He really is.
Victor?
I like the show a hell of a lot. If I had to rank it, I would say it's my third favorites of the MCU shows. Jessica Jones being number one, and both seasons of Daredevil my second favorite.
Going against the grain.
Yeah, and Luke Cage is a close third. Iron Fist is a tough act to follow. I love a lot of things about it. The soundtrack. I love the fact that each episode is named after a Gangstar song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was cool.
Awesome performances across the board, and I can't wait to see more of this character. I'm so glad that this feels like not only a part of the MCU, but it feels like very much its own thing. I love the authenticity, and And you know, even I would recommend the show even for non-MCU fans. Like they would actually, I feel like people who even aren't maybe casual fans or even not fans of the superhero genre at all will get a lot out of this show.
I do hope eventually they will start tying in a little bit more with the movie stuff. I know there's a big separation there, but hopefully even a little bit of something in Defenders or Infinity War, we'll see. Covered?
Loved it. The soundtrack was what really spoke to me. You know, what really sucked me in. I was already excited just to see it. Like that, when the first Friday that it came out, like I watched one episode, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch more. But I had my cousin's birthday party, and I'm sitting at the party like, I really need to be home watching watching more Luke Cage. So then I continued to binge watch it. My computer, Netflix crashed on me while I'm trying to watch it. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. I know some people who, like you said, who are not even into the MCU, but they are getting into just Luke Cage, and I'm still recommending Daredevil and Jessica Jones to them also, just so they can really get the whole story in. But yeah, I just definitely recommend it. I even recommend listening to the soundtrack as well.
Absolutely. To me, Luke Cage is my number one Marvel Netflix show. It is my absolute favorite. Even though the last couple of episodes were kind of weak, from episode like 8, 9 to 13, the show definitely got weaker as the Diamondback storyline, unfolded. He was a really weak villain, so they have some work to do for season 2. But if this was perfect, they wouldn't have anything to work towards. So I'm looking forward to what they do in season 2, and hopefully they learn from the mistakes that they made here. And improve it and just make it an overall great season. I feel like I said, episodes 1 through 6, perfect. After that, it was good, but not great.
Yeah, it's also a little tough because he has super duper powers.
Yeah.
And to do like the street level stuff, it's tough to get a villain that will rise up to him.
Right.
So,
I thought those Judas bullets were a good way to introduce real danger into the show. We didn't go into that, but that was a really cool way to bring the incident, from Avengers 1 into the street level, and make it have a real impact in everyday real life for these people, and the fact that those bullets could actually hurt.
And now cops can use them.
Right, yeah. So it's
Or
like
Captain
a game
America.
changer. Yeah.
And more than just the street level stuff. That can
Regular bullets can hurt Captain America.
These will hurt him even more.
Right.
But the funny thing is, the alien guns didn't even hurt him in the movie. Eventually, well, it did hurt him, but it didn't kill him or anything.
And Justin Hammer engineered them to explode. Okay. But yeah, my favorite, definitely my favorite show. I think it would be that. Daredevil season 1 would be number 2 for me. Then Jessica Jones, then Daredevil season 2. I think Daredevil season 2 is the weakest one out of the bunch.
Yeah, I would say so. And then I think down the road we'll have the Defenders episode, and then we'll do Iron Fist, excuse me.
Sure,
and then Defenders. I think we might just do a straight episode 1, from start to finish Defenders, and just kind of wrap up the Netflix into that first phase for sure.
I like it.
Cobra, you got a question of the week out there?
I actually got a few things. Our friend Brad actually mentioned better than Jessica Jones, but that isn't saying much. The acting is horrible, and the way that a lot of the scenes play out is unrealistic. A lot of cliche lines, and it doesn't flow at all. The only thing that was decent is the fighting. Storyline is okay. I haven't finished it yet. Maybe it will improve as it goes on.
You're talking about Luke Cage here?
Yeah. So
of course it doesn't make it's a superhero show.
Yeah. So
what are you trying to get out of that?
So last week's question of the week was, what was your all-time favorite movie line? Shout out to Bella Ari on Instagram, Ariana Arias. Hers was "You're Killing Me, Smalls" from the Sandlot.
That is a good one.
So shout out to her.
I do say that too, which is good.
Yeah, and then at Orb's Box, which is Aubrey from our friends at the Potty Nerds, was, you guys will probably appreciate this one the most. May the force be with you. Nothing can compare that for me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
So next one. Which movie death affected you the most?
Mufasa. Easily Mufasa.
Yeah. Mufasa was really rough.
I gotta think about this one. It was definitely not Mufasa.
Victor's seen a lot of death in film, you see.
Yes, it was a really long back catalog.
Which terminal cancer patient was it, Vic?
Which movie character death affected me the most?
You know what? I'm gonna take that back. Mufasa was definitely one that affected me. Terminator from Terminator 2. Thumbs up. Oh man, classic. That sucked.
I like that. That's a good one. That is a good one.
But Mufasa's like 1A.
Yeah,
It's 1A and 1 and 1A.
I'm gonna stay with Mufasa.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't say affected me the most, but just one off the top of my head was Hilary Swank in $1 Million Baby. That was pretty tough.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Cool.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think of it, but the first one that popped in my head was immediately Mufasa.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Without even thinking
Son,
about it.
watched it.
Clearly.
Well,
Yeah.
when I watched it when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's sad. Let's move on. I want
You
to
have no soul.
He did not have a brain tumor, you see,
That's
so
right.
Victor was not feeling it.
If he did it, was just sick. But everyone thought I appreciate even your friend that did not like as much as we did. Just,
Yeah.
I like getting
Appreciate a
different
dissenting
opinions.
opinion,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let us know why. CodeXFunPodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, CodeXFunCast, and we're putting our episodes up on YouTube. It's a bit of a process getting them converted over, and some of our other content. We got Vic's new podcast channel for the movie reviews dropping pretty soon.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout for that in November. We still got me doing my Uncharted, so if you want to stream along with that or watch that, they're pretty fun. Really good games, and like I said, it's me yelling a lot. But I'll try to be a little more active if I can. But big thing, 5-star reviews. It really helps us get noticed, climb up the charts, and really appreciate it. iTunes, find us everywhere. Codex Podcast. Later, nerds.
Later.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks for listening.